Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just reading your breast. What does that say exactly?
It says no justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
It's not on behalf of anybody else.
It's not necessarily helping the situation because this is what they're here to do. They can't use any of this footage anyway.
Did I trigger you?
Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get the f*** out of my face.
You have white skin. You're always occupying every f***ing space in this.
Because you're a coward. Because you're a coward. Because you don't want to answer our questions.
You're in my face.
Excuse me?
It's extremely offensive. You are the reason people are out here.
What the f*** is wrong with you?
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And folks, before I get to my update on the Dufferin Grove Park situation, if you can, please go to journalistdefensefund.com. If you're able to, make a donation, because quite frankly, there are people out there who want to prevent us from bringing you the other side of the story, and they will shut us down violently if need be. Now, as I mentioned, I am at Dufferin Grove Park, and you'll have to forgive the residents of the Bloor Dufferin area here in Toronto if they thought that there was a garbage strike going on, because over the last several weeks, there has been an ongoing encampment of filthy tents for a squalid tent city that has arisen. It's part of the Afro-Indigenous Rising collective. They brought their filth originally to Nathan Phillips Square. That was tolerated, if you can believe it, for 3 weeks. And they had violated 11 sections of the Trespass Act. But when it comes to booting out the hooligans here in Toronto, the sanctuary city of John Tory, we do it slowly but surely. Well, I got to tell you, finally, it's Monday and it's time to take out the trash. The police and the security have descended here on Dufferin Grove Park, and they are indeed enforcing the order to take down this squalid tent city. Now, for some reason, some of the female members of the Afro-Indigenous Rising, they have taken their tops off. That's completely legal. You have to go back to 1995, I believe, the Gwen Jacob case, where she was fined for walking topless in Guelph, and the subsequent court case earned the right for all women in Ontario to go topless if they want to. There's a man with a megaphone now, and he's screaming, I guess it's the demands of Afro-Indigenous Rising. There's several. They're all ludicrous. The main one is they want the police abolished. Not defunded, but abolished, folks. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would the criminal element want the police abolished? Yeah, why indeed? But that is what they want. They're not going to get their way, and the police are out here in full force. Now, another thing that becomes evidently clear, folks, is that although it's called Afro-Indigenous Rising, where are the Afros? Where are the Indigenous? The vast majority of these people are lily-white gender studies graduates. And I guess in 2020, being a female or someone who identifies as being female and taking off your top, that's taking it to the man. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just reading your breast. What does that say exactly?
It says no justice, no peace.
Now, do you identify as Afro or Indigenous?
I identify as an ally who realizes that my ancestors colonized this country, and I want to be a part of the solution.
I see that. And what is the solution exactly?
The solution is abolishing the police.
Abolishing the police. You seem like a nice lady to me. If you ever got in trouble with some ruffian and you had to call for assistance, what would you do?
Up by the police instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you would surrender the city to the bullies, the thugs, the criminals?
The thugs.
Okay, then. And so now how hopeful are you of actually getting the police abolished? It doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime.
1% of people want it done there.
How many percent?
Yeah. Maybe be a better media source then if you don't know the numbers.
I think that was a greased pig that just walked by. No, not the topless woman, the one that squealed.
Weak motherfucker.
What's that, sir?
Called you a stupid, weak motherfucker.
You call me a stupid something mother effer.
Weak.
Weak.
Yeah.
Why are we weak?
Get tired from making that eating grin all the time.
Oh, you don't like me grinning? What? Why is everybody here perpetually angry?
Bad faith argument all the time. You're grinning at us like, tell me some more. You have no interest in anything we have to say.
You have the mic right now, sir. What do you want to say?
Go away.
Okay, but I'm in a public park. I'm not allowed to be here.
Why are you wearing a mask?
Why am I wearing a mask?
You're not wearing a mask.
Well, I'm not afraid of being identified, sir. How about yourself?
That's not what I'm talking about. A pandemic. People are f***ing dying. What are you talking about? You're coming here and you're getting in my face. Give me space, please.
Well, you came to me, sir. You came to me.
I understand that, but I'm asking you to back up. Are you gonna follow me if I back up?
No, I will not follow you. No, that's fine. Now, what do you want to say?
Give me my space. I don't really want to talk to you because I have nothing to say to
You
you.
approach me, but you don't want to talk about anything. Fantastic.
Yeah.
This is the logic progress of the far left, folks. They approach you, they scream at you, and then when you ask them, what are you here for, they have nothing to say. Oh, are you a graduate yourself, sir?
I am a graduate of history. Are you familiar with that discipline?
Yeah, what do you make of this history that's occurring right here, sir?
History until it's written. That's
Current events, maybe?
indications of what history is. But clearly you're not educated enough to understand that.
I'm sure you'll educate me, sir.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
So what are we witnessing here then?
You're witnessing a group of people who have chosen to live here, who are living here peacefully, being removed by city authorities.
They were violating the Trespass Act. They've been here for like 2 weeks, sir.
That's right. They've decided to live here peacefully. And what's your problem with that?
Well, it's against the law, sir.
I'm not familiar with that particular law. Perhaps you could.
There's 11 sections of the Trespass Act they're violating.
Okay. Do you want to enumerate them?
Well, I don't have to. They posted the Trespass Act everywhere else.
I'm not going to speak on any legal issue because I'm not familiar with the.
So you don't recognize the law of the land?
Yeah. I recognize law. I'm not going to speak to a legal
So if somebody breaks the law,
studies. I started talking to you because you were talking about gender studies, right? You said, don't let your children study gender studies. We're not talking about.
do you think we need more kids taking gender studies, folks?
I think gender studies is a legitimate discipline, and I think people should study it.
What kind of job does gender studies lead to?
I can deal with this. Honestly, I can deal with this. I'd like to have this conversation.
Okay.
It's not on behalf of anybody else.
Right, but it's not necessarily helping the situation because this is what they're here to do is to instigate. They can't use any of this footage anyway.
He came to us, ma'am. What other park are you scholars going to occupy tonight?
Describe to me, other than love it, describe it.
You have white skin. You're always occupying every fucking space in this bitch.
Really, including...
Every day, you're occupying every fucking day.
Well, then why are you here? Why won't your colleagues allow us to have a discussion?
Rebel media.
Because you are.
Be careful.
I don't know if it's a she. She was ambiguous about the gender. You know, I think might be a two-spirits unicorn or something like that. I'm trying to figure out.
A unicorn?
Don't respond.
Unicorn?
You are so offensive.
I'm offensive.
You are super offensive.
Can I ask you a question?
Excuse me, are you speaking for the ladies now? That's very patriarchal of you.
Can I ask you a question?
No. Well, you asked me why we're here. We're practicing journalism.
He's a black person, so I would rather elevate his voice because that's why we're
Oh, I see. So you're defaulting yourself because of your race to let the black person speak.
And I'm voluntarily giving the mic to him because he's here to represent a problem that black people and indigenous people are facing.
I think he's suffering from a seizure. He keeps asking the same question over and over again, ma'am. You can see why you love the city of Portland so much.
Yes, I do. And I don't fucking care if Nazis hate the city of Portland. I love what the people are standing up for there. It's based on empathy, and the system you want to uphold is based on sociopathy.
What part of empathy involves violence and vandalism? That's what I don't understand.
Yo, buddy, that's another technique you're using by shoving a straw man in our faces and saying, why do you support this straw man?
This is the reality of the situation in Portland. How do you like Justin Trudeau?
I'd hate Justin Trudeau. We are not liberals. Left.
Well, we have a meeting of the minds on that one. Congratulations.
Yes, there are very rare instances where the far left and far right have teamed.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. You actually approached me with a comment. Okay. Oh, I see. We're gonna read your palm then, I guess. Have you painted your fingernail, sir? What do you identify as?
Excuse me?
What do you identify as?
Excuse me?
Did I trigger you?
Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out of my face.
You're walking
Get
into me.
out of my face.
You're walking
Get
into
the
me.
out of my face.
You're in my face. You're
Excuse me?
What's wrong?
What the is wrong with you? Get off. I'm not allowing you to film me.
We're in a public park, sir.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
What is your problem?
Well, we're just practicing journalism, and I believe that's...
You have your right to do that.
Do you know what intersectionality is?
Well, there's a man putting a vegetarian book in my face right now, and you have a no-frills plastic bag.
Answer me. Do you know what intersectionality is?
Well, I can't do an interview right now, man, because this fellow is...
Because you're a coward. Because you're a coward.
Okay.
Because you don't want to answer our questions.
Educate me. What is intersectionality?
Intersectionality is when people of different groups get together and share in their struggles instead of competing to see which one is more oppressed.
Oh, okay. So this group is Afro-Indigenous Rising plus Marxists and I guess Antifa?
Yes. And if...
Okay.
Yeah, fascism's bad.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Antifa stands for anti-fascist.
Do you think fascism's
Why do the anti-fascists use fascism to get their message across there? Don't you find that perversely ironic?
Do you feel like you're being exposed to fascism right now?
Well, you use violence, you use vandalism. We've experienced it before.
Have I assaulted or vandalized you?
What do you think what's happening in Portland right now, ma'am? Do you think that's a good thing?
Oh, yes, it is, because the system is so unjust that, and also the protesters are not violent. The protesters are not violent. The police.
Oh, they're not violent.
The police often started the riots on purpose because
There's two members of law enforcement that might be permanently blind by having lasers pointed at their eyes.
Oh, the horror. Look at all the protesters that they injured, too. They injured and incapacitated so many protesters. They still kill black people.
I'm not a sir.
Oh, what do you identify as?
I don't have to answer that question.
What is your genitalia?
My genitalia? You're extremely offensive. Yeah, I don't really want to look at your
I find the scent in your baseball cap extremely offensive.
and I find this microphone in my
Excuse me, don't touch it.
Don't put it in my face. Stop being hateful and stop talking. Asking me what my genitalia is?
Well, we don't.
You are extremely offensive. You are the reason people are out here. So what about your question was not transphobic when you asked me regarding my gender, what my genitalia is?
You seem to be upset that you were misgendered, so I was just trying to get clarity.
Your offensive questions, could you please repeat what you asked me?
Why would you still be talking to somebody that offends you so much?
I'm trying to get you arrested. So,
what would be the charge?
$25,000 charge with the human rights, against human rights.
Oh, I see. You're going to have some kangaroo court come in and try me for thought crime. Is that what you want to do?
No, it's actually hate speech. I just talked to an officer. He's waiting around, waiting till you say exactly what you said to me before.
And what was that?
Because you're so brave and you're so confident, right? Repeat what your question was to me before.
I can't remember. What was it?
You asked me what my genitalia was in regards to my gender.
And that's a hate crime?
It's a completely inappropriate question.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand.
You assumed I was too spirited because I didn't say I was a man or a woman.
What do you make of the Afro-Indigenous protests here, ma'am?
What do I make of them? I'm extremely, extremely proud of the people who showed up today, and I'm extremely angry at the people who show up like you, who like to instigate people and make people literally relive their traumas by asking them hateful questions.
What trauma are these people reliving?
Intergenerational trauma from white folk like you who walk around.
That sounds racist.
Really? It's not racist. You can't be racist. A white person cannot experience racism.
They can't?
The only people who can experience racism are those affected by racism.
And that's interesting. A white person can experience racism.
Cannot. Do you understand the definition of racism is?
What would you base that statement on? You're saying that there's...
It's exact. You should look it up.
Well, folks, as the noon deadline has come and gone, all that remains is a few stragglers. It seems that they're really in need of something to do. I kind of feel like the Pied Piper of Hamelin right now. For some reason, this group is following us, and I imagine it's only a matter of time before they find another park to occupy in this long, hot summer in John Tory's beautiful sanctuary city.
We're not interviewing.
Okay. So are you just following us for any specific reason, or?
We're preventing you from harassing actual journalists.
Okay, well, actually, we're on our way back to our office right now, so.
Yeah, I think you should be.
Okay, we got what we need, ma'am. Can I call you ma'am, or did I offend you there?
We're not talking to any of you.
Okay.
That's fine. After you say
Then why are you following us?
you don't have to answer. We'll remind each other to ignore him so if you give it back. Stolen land. Give it back. Stolen land.
So as we make our exit, some of the last remnants of the occupiers are following us. And I don't know how far they plan to go. I know it's a pretty safe bet they don't go north of Finch. That's where the subway ends. So once we get back into the Menzoid mobile, we'll be home sweet.
No justice! No peace!
What does that mean, no justice, no peace?
No justice, no peace. 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 No justice, no peace.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And before I bring you the update here at Dufferin Grove Park, which has been taken over by the Antifa types, if you can, folks, please make a donation to journalistdefensefund.com. The fact remains there are forces afoot that want to prevent us from bringing you the other side of the story.